Welcome back. It is Thursday, March 16th, 2023. Of course, March 16th is affectionately known as Steve Austin Day, and if you're a wrestling fan, you will understand why. But at any rate, we have a few events and a couple of birthdays, so let's go ahead and proceed with that. On this date in 1980, Dale Earnhardt won the Atlanta 500 at Atlanta International Raceway. Of course, that was the oval at the time. More significantly, in his first Cup Series start in a car owned by Roger Penske, Rusty Wallace came home a very strong second place. Also on this date in 1986, again at Atlanta International Raceway for the Motorcraft 500, Morgan Shepherd wins in an unsponsored Buick owned by Jack Beebe, businessman out of Massachusetts. Jake Elder was the crew chief on this car. It was a very emotional win. Of course, this team would fold later in the season due to lack of funding. Recommend you go back, find it on YouTube, go back and watch it. It's a really entertaining race. Of course, if you can get through Jim Lampley and Sam Posey's commentary, it gets a bit mundane at times, but it's a very, very good race. It's one that I've watched over many, many times. Looks like on this date in 1997 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Jeff Green wins his first Busch Series race. Also, in the truck race the same day in Florida at Miami-Dade Speedway, Kenny Irwin Jr. wins his first truck race. Of course, this is the race that tragically John Nemechek would suffer his fatal injuries in and would pass away a few days later. And this was on the old configuration of Homestead, Miami, the rectangular version that was actually really, really dangerous track. Looking at a few other dates here. Let me double check this one real quick, because if it's one I'm thinking of, kind of significant. And it is on this date in 2008. Jeff Burton wins the Food City 500 at Bristol in the first ever 1-2-3 sweep, with Richard Childress teammates Kevin Harvick and Clint Boyer right behind him. I thought that was the race. I wanted to make sure, and it is. Not really anything other significant racing dates. We do have a non-card birthday. It'd be cool to have a card of this guy, though. Born on this date in 1987. Short track ace Bubba Pollard. So we do have a couple of history-making. One's a driver slash car owner, and one is a car owner. Born on this date in 1952, a former Xfinity then Busch Series driver turned owner, Mr. Ed Ferree. And what do you say so history making about Mr. Ferree? Well, in 1994, Shauna Robinson would become the first female driver to win a pole in the NASCAR Top Touring divisions, driving Ed Ferree's number 46 Polaroid-sponsored Chevrolets. Our second and final birthday of the day, born on this date in 1947. Another history maker in a sense, mainly because he is a winning car owner of the Daytona 500. Mr. Billy Stavola, or William Stavola. Of course, the Stavola brothers had a pretty good lineage in Cup Series racing. They came in 1984, bought out the kind of the assets of the Hillen family racing team. They ran part of the season in 84, ran the full season in 85, got their first top 10s. 1986, Bobby Allison came on board as a teammate, second car, bringing Miller sponsorship. They swept Talladega with Bobby Allison winning the spring race and Bobby Hillen winning the July race. Bobby Allison once again won for them in 87 at Daytona, and then in 88 at Daytona in the 500 for the final career win for Bobby Allison and the Stavola brothers team. This was one of their iconic cars. Bobby Hillen and Rick Wilson both drove this car in successive years, 1990 and 1991. The team continued through the mid-90s with drivers like Sterling Marlin, Hut Strickland, Jeff Burton, who won Rookie of the Year for them in 1994. But after 1998, the team started running into financial problems. Circuit City was their sponsor at the time. I don't know if there was some issues with Circuit City and non-payment. Wouldn't surprise me there. Buckshot Jones got their final career top 10 as a team, I believe, at Dover. Technically, Morgan Shepherd did later that year in Atlanta, the 12 Hours of Atlanta race that Jeff Gordon won his third championship with. It was listed as a Stavola car, but I honestly believe it was a Shepherd provided or a Buckshot Jones provided car. But it just had the number 8 and it had the Stavola lineage. So that was one of the last races for the Stavolas as a team. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video today. A little bit of a trip down memory lane. It's always fun going back, finding these cards, thinking about different things that happened in the past, and giving you guys a little bit of, I like sharing the cards with you, sharing the history, etc., etc. It's a lot of fun. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Make sure you come back tomorrow. I think we're going to do a flea market find video of hero cards tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to do it in 2 different videos. So tomorrow's will be part 1 of the flea market find, and I think you're gonna really like some of the hero cards that we were able to come across. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Really, really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button on your way out. It really, really helps things here. So thanks again for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.